stars, and you are watching the Superstar Network. We are live at Hyperi Construction's headquarters here in Texas. For the last couple of weeks, there has been much speculation and attention given to HPC's decision on whether or not to move into Nigeria. As a major player of the oil pipeline industry, HPC's decision on whether or not to expand into Nigeria will have a major impact on the industry as a whole. Shortly, CEO RD Denver and its audit committee will be making their decision, and we'll be covering this live for you today. And here comes Benjamin Wu, managing partner at Dionysus Consulting Company. Mr. Wu, can you give us some insight on what will be happening today?
Well, for the past few weeks, we have been working closely with HPC's board of directors and audit committee. At their request, we have considered many new recent developments within HPC's business operation. And after gathering more information and additional evidence, we have provided our solution to HPC's board of directors, and as well provided them several alternatives. Whether or not they're going to choose and go with our decision is still a question. Without going into more details, I guess we shall find out after the news conference.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time, Mr.
You're
Wu.
very welcome.
Joining us right now is legal expert Tina Harding. Tina? Yes, hi. Thank you so much for joining us today. So we have heard a lot of rumors lately that there have been some local facilitator bribes in the country that they do business in. What do you have to say about this?
Well, HPC is in a precarious legal situation due to the fact that their local facilitators are participating in acts of bribery. Because HPC is a publicly traded company listed on the New York Stock Exchange with offices in the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia, they are subject to jurisdictions for the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, the UK Bribery Act, and the Australian Commonwealth Criminal Code.
And Tina, what are the possible outcomes for this type of action?
For example, consider the case of KBR, one of the biggest oil pipeline construction companies in the world. They've been investigated by the SEC and convicted by the U.S. Justice Department for paying tens of millions of dollars in bribes to Nigerian officials for government contracts. They have been ordered to pay more than $500 million in fines, and their former CEO has been sentenced to 7 years in prison. HPC is in a very similar situation to KBR, since they are planning a major expansion into Nigeria where the culture of corruption is highly prevalent. Therefore, they need to carefully consider their options because their actions in this undertaking will be highly scrutinized.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Harding, for being on the air with us today. With all of this going on, one can't help but wonder what other options HPC might have if they don't decide to expand into Nigeria. Stay tuned for our industry expert, Emerald Lim, right after our commercial break.
I believe everything we do strives for excellence.
I believe everything we do builds relationships.
I believe everything we do creates value.
I believe everything we do solves problems.
And we believe in Dionysus Consulting.
If you're just joining us, we're actually discussing HPC's possible expansion into Nigeria. Here with us today, we have Emerald Lim, industry expert. Hi, Ms. Lim. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us, Ms. Lim, what is HPC's next move?
Looking at HPC's financial performance for the past few years, I personally believe that their negative trend is due to the current economic recession. According to IBIS World Report, the oil and gas pipeline industry is currently at a $40 billion revenue and is expected to annually grow by 5% in the next 5 years. So rather than focusing on their expansion in Nigeria, I think that there are many opportunities for HPC to expand to the US.
Really? Why is that?
Well, in recent years, oil pipeline safety has been a high concern to government, agencies, and the general public, mainly because of the recent BP oil spill incident. We have seen and we expect to see a tougher regulatory management for the industry, which causes a demand for repair and maintenance and the renewal of construction contracts. Aside from pursuing oil pipeline construction contracts, HPC might want to look into residential gas pipeline business, mainly due to the rapid growth of the U.S. population and the recovery from natural disasters such as Hurricane Katrina.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your opinion, Ms. Lim. We really appreciate it. Well, there you have it. We will be finding out HPC's final decision within the next 30 minutes, so stay tuned. This is Australia Cazares from the Superstar Network, reporting live